Have you ever felt overwhelmed and exhausted at the same time? Like you are running on a treadmill that's going too fast and you can't seem to catch a breath? Enter the world of Sam, a regular Joe like you and me, who's currently wrestling with this very sensation. Sam's a hard-working professional, a go-getter, the proverbial early bird that always catches the worm. But of late, Sam's been feeling like he's lost his mojo. The worm is slipping through his fingers and he's left chasing after it with dwindling enthusiasm. Sam wakes up each morning not with a spring in his step, but a weight on his shoulders. The thought of another day at work fills him not with anticipation, but dread. He's constantly tired, even though he's barely doing half the work he used to. His productivity has taken a nosedive, his motivation is running on fumes, and his passion, once a bright flame, now barely flickers. This, dear listeners, isn't mere stress. Stress is a temporary visitor, an unwelcome guest that overstays its welcome, sure, but eventually leaves. What Sam's grappling with is a more persistent beast, a monster that's moved in, lock, stock and barrel, into his life. This monster has a name, burnout. It's a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about feeling empty, devoid of motivation, and beyond caring. People experiencing burnout often feel like they're running on empty, with no gas station in sight. Burnout doesn't just affect your work, it seeps into every aspect of your life. It's the monster under your bed, the cloud over your head, and the weight on your shoulders, all rolled into one. It's the constant companion you never asked for, the shadow you can't shake off. And it's not just Sam, there are countless others stuck in a similar rut, running on a treadmill that's set to too fast, trying to keep up with a pace that's unsustainable. Sam, like many others, is caught in the clutches of a monster we call burnout. But what causes this monstrous burnout? Why does Sam, and possibly you, feel like a hamster running endlessly in a wheel? Let's consider Sam's daily routine. He wakes up, gulps down a hurried breakfast, and rushes off to a job that demands his attention for over 10 hours a day. Sam is grappling with an excessive workload. The sheer volume of tasks he has to accomplish, with deadlines looming like the sword of Damocles, pushes him to the brink of exhaustion. Now imagine that Sam has no control over his job. He's a pawn in a chess game, moved around by others, without a say in his own fate. This lack of control, the inability to influence decisions that affect his job, contributes significantly to his burnout. Then there's the issue of insufficient rewards. Sam works hard, but does he feel his efforts are adequately rewarded? Perhaps his salary is not commensurate with his workload, or maybe he lacks recognition from his superiors. This dissatisfaction with rewards, both intrinsic and extrinsic, further fuels his burnout. Add to this a dash of unfair treatment. If Sam feels he's being treated unfairly, either by his colleagues or superiors, it's like rubbing salt into his already festering wounds. And then there's the lack of social support. Human beings are social animals, and we thrive on connections. If Sam feels isolated at work, without a supportive network of colleagues or superiors, it can increase his sense of burnout. Lastly, let's not forget values conflict. If Sam's job requires him to do things that are against his personal values or beliefs, it can be a significant source of stress and ultimately lead to burnout. The seeds of burnout, as you see, are sown deep within the soil of our daily routines. Now that we know what feeds this monster, is there a way to starve it? Can Sam reclaim his life from the jaws of burnout? The answer, my dear listeners, lies in a concept we call dealing with burnout. You see, burnout isn't a beast that can be slain with a single swing of the sword. It's more like a shadowy spectre, lurking in the corners of our lives, feeding off our stress, our fatigue and our procrastination. But like all spectres, it loses its power once it's dragged into the light. And that's where our friend Sam comes into the picture. Remember Sam? He's been battling the burnout beast, losing more ground every day. But then, one day, he stops running, turns around, and finally sees the monster for what it is. This, my friends, is the first step towards dealing with burnout. Recognition. Sam finally recognizes that he's not just tired, he's not just stressed, he's burnt out. He accepts that he's facing a problem that can't be solved by just another cup of coffee or a longer nap. He needs a different approach, a new strategy. Recognition, however, is just the beginning. It's like finding the key to a locked door. Now Sam needs to open the door, step through, and face whatever lies on the other side. That's where acceptance comes in. Acceptance isn't about giving in to the burnout beast. It's about understanding its presence and acknowledging its effects on your life. It's about saying, yes, I'm burnt out. Yes, it's affecting my life, but no, it's not going to control me anymore. It's about reclaiming your life one step at a time, one day at a time. And so, armed with recognition and acceptance, Sam stands ready to face his burnout beast. He's not sure what lies ahead, but he knows that he's taken the first, most crucial step towards reclaiming his life. For Sam, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with this single step. Armed with understanding and acceptance, Sam is ready to wage a war against burnout. But how does one fight such a beast? Well, let's take a page out of Sam's book. His first strategy, setting boundaries. He knows that to have a fighting chance, he needs to define the battlefield. So he starts by setting limits on his work hours, carving out some me time in his daily schedule. He learns to say no when he needs to, creating a healthy balance between work and personal life. Next, Sam ensures he takes time to relax and recharge. He understands that every warrior needs rest, and he's no exception. He indulges in activities that bring him joy and peace. Could be a walk in the park, a good book, or even a bit of gardening. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it helps him unwind and rejuvenate. Now, no battle plan is complete without physical readiness. So, Sam makes regular physical activity a part of his routine. He doesn't necessarily run marathons or lift weights, he just makes sure to keep moving. A brisk morning walk, a bike ride to work, or even some yoga at sunset. All these help him stay active, keep his energy levels up and his stress levels down. And finally, Sam knows he needs the right fuel to keep going. So he pays attention to his diet. He opts for foods that are rich in nutrients, low in processed sugars and unhealthy fats. He stays hydrated and makes sure he's giving his body all the necessary vitamins and minerals to function at its best. Sam's battle plan isn't about drastic changes or quick fixes. It's about sustainable practices that nurture his physical, emotional, and mental well-being. It's about acknowledging his limits and prioritizing self-care. With these weapons in his arsenal, Sam is ready to face the monster. The battle against burnout is a tough one, but remember, the darkest night is often before the dawn. Let's imagine our friend Sam. Sam has been under the thumb of burnout, struggling, grappling, wrestling with it. But Sam decides to fight back. He starts implementing the strategies we discussed earlier, like a soldier going into battle with a well-thought-out plan. First, he starts eating healthier, bidding goodbye to late-night junk food binges and hello to fresh fruits, vegetables and lean proteins. He realizes that his body is a machine, and like any machine, it requires the right fuel to function optimally. Next, Sam dusts off his old running shoes and starts exercising. He begins slowly, with short walks around the block, gradually building up to longer runs. He learns that exercise isn't just about physical fitness, it's a powerful antidote to stress and a fantastic mood booster. Sam also starts prioritizing sleep, understanding that a well-rested brain is a productive brain. He creates a sleep schedule and sticks to it no matter what. No more late-night emails or binge-watching TV shows till the wee hours. He then builds a self-care routine, carving out time each day for activities he enjoys, be it reading a book, playing the guitar, or simply sitting in silence, savoring a cup of coffee. He learns to say no when he needs to, understanding that it's okay to put his needs first sometimes. Slowly but surely, Sam starts regaining control over his life. It's not an overnight transformation. Burnout didn't happen in a day, and it won't go away in a day either. But every step he takes is a step away from burnout and a step towards a healthier, happier, more balanced life. And so, Sam triumphs over burnout, not with a dazzling victory, but with small, persistent steps. And that, dear listeners, is the secret to defeating this monster. Having triumphed over burnout, Sam now embraces a new lease on life. He wakes up each morning, not dreading the day ahead, but looking forward to it. His new routine, built on the pillars of nutritious food, regular exercise, adequate sleep and meaningful leisure, has transformed him. He feels energized, focused and above all happy. His work performance improves, his relationships flourish, and he even picks up a new hobby, painting. He discovers that taking care of himself isn't selfish. It's necessary for his overall well-being. And this is the power of self-care. Sam's journey is a reminder for all of us. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, chasing deadlines, meeting expectations, and forgetting to take care of ourselves in the process. But remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's about maintaining a balanced lifestyle that nourishes your body, mind, and soul. It's about recognizing your needs and taking steps to meet them. It's about taking care of yourself, not just for you, but for the people who depend on you. So, dear listeners, take a leaf out of Sam's book. Start today. Start small if you have to, but start. Eat healthier, exercise regularly, prioritize sleep, and find time to do things you love. Learn to say no when you need to. Remember, self-care is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong commitment. And it's a commitment worth making because it's your first line of defense against burnout. Remember, self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Take care of yourself and keep burnout at bay.